Women play a key role in human development and have a significant place in the society. The roles of women have shifted from not only keepers of home to holding powerful positions, thereby making impacts around the world. For this reason, a special day, March 8th, is set aside every year to celebrate women and make people aware of women's rights and gender equality. This is what forms our topic for discussion on today's Sunday magazine. I'm sure as a woman or a lover of women, you will definitely be delighted about the choice of today's topic. That's not all. Our distinguished guest this evening is a woman of positive influence, a leader par excellence. She is no other person than the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Dame Pauline Tallinn, who will shed more light on the topic. More so, we have lineup of interesting stories and soothing messages from the clergy, in addition to Eye on the Countryside. All these will make your evening worth the while. So sit tight and come along with us. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Many thanks for staying tuned, and we begin with an update on COVID-19. Figures from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) as at 6th March 2021 indicate 7 new cases of COVID-19 in the FCT, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 19,335, while active cases stands at 7,259. And the number of discharged cases in the territory is at 11,923, and sadly 153 deaths have been recorded in the FCT. And to some religious stories now. Thanksgiving was on the lips of many worshippers in celebration of God's faithfulness, protection, and abundant blessings in their lives and the church. Mariam George Tubo reports that today's church service also witnessed the ordination of some worshippers who will help in propagating the gospel.
Declared likewise must the deacons.
At the Elohim Christian Center International, it was a celebration of spiritual growth and 25 good years of impacting lives and spreading the good news. General Overseer Elohim Christian Center International, Bishop Fidelis Ubong, says there is need to praise and appreciate God for uplifting the church and its members.
The message is very simple. Let us trust God that through His mercies and His grace, a turnaround will come for us, both as families, as a church, and as a nation.
It gives me joy that God has seen me fit, or seen us fit, to affect generations, and that is the joy.
Looking at where we are coming from, God has indeed blessed us, and we are grateful to Him, because we'll see greater days ahead of us.
Our lives are testimonies of God's faithfulness, and we bless God that we are alive and well to celebrate the goodness today.
Some members were formerly ordained pastors with the symbolic washing of feet as exemplified by Jesus Christ. It was not different at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, Jukwe Parish, as they welcomed another reverend, moderator of Abuja Central Presbytery, Very Reverend Uja Oji Obasi, while welcoming the addition to the church, urged Christians to remember that their lives on earth is brief and work for their salvation.
Whatever you do, remember that one day you will be called before God, and you'll be rewarded of everything you do.
I have accepted the posting as God's will, and I have come to simply work and to accomplish God's purpose for me and for the church.
No matter the turbulence, no matter what we are facing, we should always remain in faith.
The worshippers raised their voices in praise to God, the giver of life.
Thank you very much, Mariam. Now, when you hear the word faith, what do you think of? Faith is an essential part of life which produces enormous power for greater purpose. Odiri Ogboru Arutera in this special report takes a look at the significance of faith in Christendom.
Faith is just a motion that some people hold on to in rough times. It is an important element of human life on earth. Faith is the supernatural gift of God which enables one to believe without doubting that God is with one at all times and strengthens one in times of weakness and turbulence of life. How can one build one's faith?
The Bible says that faith comes by hearing, and the hearing is by the word of God. So if you want to build your faith, then you must spend more time with God's word. And God's word is not the scriptures. The Bible says, and the word became flesh and dwelt amongst men.
What then is the benefit of faith?
Anyone who has faith in God will know. Because if you have faith in God, you will show it by your works. Works don't save. But when you get saved, then you can now show faith. Ephesians chapter 2 verse 10, it says that we are his workmanship created for good works. That process of working for God, serving humanity, helping people is a process of showing the works of faith.
We are living in a world that is full of turmoil, full of uncertainties, but our faith overcomes these things.
Theologists and clerics are of the view that the more faith one puts in God, the more one is rewarded. It is often said, with faith, one can move mountain.
Now, the ancient town of Karshi in Abuja has existed for over 600 years. Let's find out more about this community on Eye on the Countryside with Abdullahi Ajia.
As we continue to learn about communities, hinterlands and villages of the FCT, today we are in Karshi, and from what we gathered, Karshi is a corruption of the word Kashi in Hausa, which people transform to become Karshi, and the bone is said to be a place where the founder used to hunt and keep the bones of the animals he has hunted in those days. On arrival to the ancient town of Karishi, the Oral of Serenity greeted us. As a curious visitor who was on a mission to explore information, I came in contact with the Prince and Galadiman Karishi, who played a key role of a repository of the people's oral and migratory history. Through him, we learned that Karishi is the headquarters of all Gwandara nations, a people who traced their history from one of the princes of the ancient Kano, Prince Dambaba.
Karshi is a very historic town. The history of Karshi dates back to about 663 years back. It was a chieftaincy or royalty tussle that time in Kano. So Dambaba, who is a Kano prince, with his people, they decided, because of the disagreement in the then emir, they decided to move out of Kano. And Karshi as a town, when Dambaba first came, they settled at this Kurudu. His senior brother Ibrahim was the person that founded Kurudu. So they were staying there. So Dambaba was moving to the bush here for hunting. So when he hunts, whatever he gets, the spray that he gets, he usually, unskin them, butcher them, and leave the bones.
Karishi people, before their contact with modernization, which has eroded most of their relics, were prominent in farming, hunting, blacksmithing, and local upholstery using animal skin, butchering, among other craft.
No community that will do away completely with its artifacts and culture. We still have remnants, we still have people that are still doing blasphemy and baduku around this place. We still go for this congregational hunting.
With the 27th emir on the throne, the traditional institution under the leadership of the emir has been instrumental in peace-building initiative and community development, which places the town high among equals in terms of infrastructure and government presence.
The issue of insecurity it's not like that in Karishi.
Karishi community is that they are peaceful, they love one another, they welcome strangers.
Our visit to Karishi community on Eye on the Countryside coincided with the market day, which is being held on every 4 days. And we learned that on a market day like this, neighboring communities and villages come here to transact business in a market they describe as having cheaper goods and commodities. This group of women around the boundary line are making good use of the opportunity nature has blessed them with, fetching sand out of the water for business. This is the popular bypass road here in Karishi, and a boundary line between Karishi in Nasarawa State on the left hand and Karishi in the FCT on the right hand side.
Now you will agree with me that the importance of history cannot be overemphasized. Thank you, Abdullahi, for sharing your interesting voyage to Karishi. We now take a break. Sunday Magazine continues in a moment. To stay.
Chief. Good morning, sir. You are here already?
No, now my spirit day, my body day for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me jab questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, we must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Later.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thank you very much for staying tuned. Now to our business of the day. Women marched through New York City demanding short working hours, better pay and right to vote 15,000 years ago. The idea, however, brought the United Nations General Assembly to set aside March 8th annually to commemorate the International Women's Day. Hawa Gimba takes a look at the journey so far since 1911.
All around the world, women are given the opportunity to celebrate their achievements with a view to chanting a cause for greater equality, which is celebrated every 8th of March. The first International Women's Day was held in 1911. Thousands of events were marked to bring to the fore the economic, political and social achievements of women around the world.
If you talk about Nigerian women, we are backward in the sense that we have not been given the opportunity to come out and portray the gifts that God has given to us. There's a saying that behind every successful man there's a good woman, not just a woman, there's a good woman. If Nigeria will give women the opportunity to come out and exhibit what God has deposited in them naturally, I believe Nigeria will go a long way.
Nigerian women, we are very enterprising, hardworking. In terms of decision making, if we are there, you know, we make our own input into any office that we hold in Nigeria. But we are not there yet.
It is often said that the role of women is significant in the society. Hence, issues related to women should be taken seriously. With the 2021 theme, Choose to Challenge, a challenged world is an alert world. Every individual is said to be responsible for his or her thoughts and action. A very powerful theme, it seems, as the world battles with COVID-19 pandemic. The International Women's Day is an opportunity to raise awareness around gender equality and equal participation at workplaces and in the society. In Nigeria, where are we in terms of women achievements and decision making?
We have women that are excelling in various sectors of the country. is important that we continue to play our role, either from inside the homes or out. From wherever we are, we have a lot to contribute to nation building.
President of United States of America, he involved women in his government. So I just want to advise, our government, they must allow women to participate because they have knowledge.
This year's International Women's Day is the 65th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, with focus on women's full and effective participation in decision-making of public life. Hawagimba, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Hawa, for that background report. And joining me now in the studio to discuss more on the International Women's Day is the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Dame Pauline Talen. It's a pleasure having you on Sunday Magazine, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I guess Happy Women's Day is in place at this point.
Sure.
Now, the theme for this year's International Women's Day is Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in COVID-19 World. How suitable do you think the theme is, for this year's celebration?
Thank you very much. This year's celebration and the theme is quite apt, because looking around the world, you'll agree with me that God is bringing women to the fore and Nigeria cannot be left out. The strategic role of women in nation building is very clear, and any nation that leaves its women behind is bound not to succeed. This is a clarion call to all our leaders, and I stand here on behalf of Mr. President to wish all Nigerian women happy International Women's Day, and to reassure them of Mr. President's commitment at all times to keep supporting women and to push women not only at the national level but international levels. Okay. You've seen the support he has given our dear sister Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Amina is there making us proud, and by the grace of God we'll keep having more of them, but within and outside the scales of Nigeria.
Okay, now, in most countries, they said women are not obviously present in making, pivotal decisions as the world recover from COVID-19. What's your take on this? Do you agree with this?
Yes, I do. Women have been badly hit with COVID-19. I know COVID-19 pandemic has hit the world, but those worst hit are the women folk, because more women are in the informal sector in their businesses. And until women are fully empowered, realizing a better economy will be a mirage, because empowering the woman has a multiplier effect. And I strongly believe that with the various interventions Mr. President is giving women and our youths, because the women and the youths, they go hand in hand, we believe that that will help jumpstart the economy. And I call on all our leaders to involve more women in political participation. We are appealing and we are working hard to ensure that the party's constitutions are amended to accommodate more women, because we need more women in leadership. The number of women in our various state and national assembly is a big shame compared to the educated women, the vibrant, hardworking women who have been tested and can prove themselves very capable at any levels. Okay. So we need more, and by the grace of God, we'll keep pushing. We'll never get tired.
Okay. Now, as the leader of women here in Nigeria, tell us, what is your ministry doing to harness the power of women's leadership to realize equal, inclusive, and more sustainable future?
Thank you very much. SDG 5 clearly emphasizes on gender equality. And gender equality is the trait that needs all the other 17 goals. My ministry is fully committed and will keep pushing to ensure that women realize their potentials in order to meet at par with the men folk. We do a lot of training, empowering women. You train and empower them, we focus more on the girl child education because that is the life investment, and that's where we will be able to ensure that women and future mothers are able to compete favorably with the men folk. Mr. President is also very committed to ensure that we place the girl child education top at all levels. And that's where I feel really, really worried with the spate of banditry and kidnapping of our girls in our various institutions across the country. It's sending a very bad signal, and it's creating so much fear in our parents and our children. We call for peace. We challenge any situation that will discourage our children and our parents from sending their children in school, because the girl child education is the key to women empowerment.
Okay, tell us, what progress have you made in the areas of women empowerment?
We empower women through training. After training, we give them starter packs. We empower women through ensuring that they are supported with some loans. The Bank of Industry is doing quite a lot. The SMSE that Mr. President has just put in place has given 45% to women, while 5% to the vulnerable women. That again will go a long way to help empower women. We will keep advocating and we'll keep reaching out to get more organizations, both the private and the public sector, to encourage and support women empowerment through training and support in order to start off and be on their own in their various businesses.
Okay, now despite the many challenges women face, do you think women have proved their braveness in every sphere across the world?
Very well. Here in Nigeria, it is clear there is no loan that you'll empower a woman with that she will not excel within few months. And there's no loan that is given that she wouldn't be able to pay back. Women are very committed, very sincere, and they've been proven. Statistics have clearly shown that. Across the world, it's the same story everywhere. And that's where you see countries like Rwanda, South Africa, Namibia, where we have the zebra kind of support politically. The zebra program is where we have 50-50 of women participation in politics. We can, and if we are able to do that, Nigerian women will excel beyond anybody's human understanding, because they have been proven. And for all the women that are in the National Assembly, the State Assembly, the few we have there, they have proved themselves, because looking at their constituency programs, looking at their various constituency, they impact more on the vulnerable, on the people that really voted them into office. And that speaks. So that alone has proven that empowering more women will be better off for us in this country. That is the surest way to move Nigeria forward.
All right. Now tell us, what are you doing differently to shatter the barriers that hold young women back in attaining leadership positions in Nigeria?
We're doing quite a lot, because we carry them along. We organize programs we mentor them. We have the mentoring program, which we emphasizes not just at the national, but we ensure that our various states commissioners do the same mentoring. We organize programs like last year. We had a joint program with UN Women where we mentor and do the shadowing program. We call it the shadowing program, where a young girl is attached to a chief executive, a female chief executive, for 1-2 weeks, and she will see how she's been operating her office, running her office, how she organizes herself. And that proved very, very effective. All the female ministers took part in it last year. We still continue the same this year. Female ambassadors, female chief executives were attached to young female aspiring to be future leaders. And that gave a lot of hope and excitement. At the end of it, the testimonies that we got proved that if we continue this program of mentoring, we will be able to prepare most of our young girls to stand in and make us proud at various levels.
That's very interesting, ma'am. Now, it is the International Women's Day, and you have this platform, Talk to Nigerian Women, on occasion of the International Women's Day.
Congratulations, Nigerian women. I want to commend your resilience. I want to congratulate you on this day that the world focuses on the various challenges we are facing in our various homes, in our various communities, in our various places of work. We are therefore challenging that women should be treated equally, both at workplace and everywhere. Women should be given equal rights to participate and to excel. Women say no to rape and gender-based violence. We want a sanitized society. We want a society where our young girls will grow with dignity and hope for the future. We want a peaceful society. We are calling on all to join us in prayers. Nigerian women are crying and praying for peace. Without peace, our leaders can do nothing. We call for peace.
Thank you so very much, Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Dame Pauline Talen. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
And next is Sports Brief with Asabe Tenemo Williams.
Napoli manager Gennaro Gattuso announced a 24-man provisional squad list for tonight's Serie A match against Bologna at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. One of the novelties in the preliminary squad is Victor Osimhen, who received medical clearance to return to the pitch 2 days ago following a head injury he suffered against Atlanta on February 21st. In another development, Nigeria-born fighter Israel Adesanya lost his light heavyweight match to Polish MMA fighter One by a unanimous 49-46, 49-45, 49-45 decision at UFC 259. Adesanya was defeated for the first time in a 5-round contest in the light heavyweight division, but he reportedly maintains his middleweight titles.
Thank you very much, Asabe, and that concludes Sunday Magazine for this week. Thank you for watching, and do remember to wear a face mask, maintain social distance when out, keep safe generally. Let's do this again, same time, same station next week. Until then, good night and have a pleasant week ahead.